Hi.
There you go.
Okay, so as you guys know, this has been a little bit of a chaotic day. So two panels are becoming one. They're merging. They're hybridizing in a beautiful way, I think. So this is the characterizing songs panel, and I think it's going to be kind of cool because we've got, of course, some great musicians, but also Sam Vincent at the end here, who did some singing on the show as well. So let me introduce everybody.
You get it? You get it? People who sang songs and people who wrote the songs and music together, doing one panel.
That's right.
Yeah.
The panel to beat all panels. Ooh, ooh.
So let me introduce who's on stage here with me. Mr. Mandopony.
Hi, everyone.
Daniel Ingram.
Hey everyone, how you doing?
Steffan Andrews, also known as Architect.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
And, of course, Sam Vincent. And,
Hello.
oh, here we go.
Hi,
Nicole Olver's coming
hi.
up.
Oh, wait. Hi. Oh, wait. Hi. Are you just observing? Or are you actually? Oh, and here she comes. Dum. Oh, wait.
And,
There's
what's
more.
this?
But
Michelle
wait.
Creber as
Not
well.
only do you get Nicole Olver on a panel, you also get Michelle Creber as well.
There we go.
And could it possibly be you also get, for a limited time only, Andrea Libman?
All right.
All
Let's
right.
give him a second to get on stage and get situated.
All right. Now we're talking, huh? Did I say it was not going to be the best panel of all time? It's shaping up to be that way, isn't it?
All right. Well, on stage here, we have both the writers and orchestrators of this songs from the show, but also some of the people who sing on them. Nicole, of course, in the season finale, sung beautifully as Celestia. Sam Vincent, so I'm trying to think of a good adjective. I think music manical-ish is not a word, but something.
Music
what
manical-ish.
is that with panache? With great panache, sung in Super Squeezy 6000.
Great panache.
Great panache.
With Daniel behind the glass going, do better, go, go.
Michelle Creber is the singing voice of both Apple Bloom and Sweetie Belle in all of the songs.
How y'all doing?
And Andrea Libman sings for Fluttershy.
Yay.
And occasionally Pinkie Pie as well, actually. We shouldn't forget that. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yes. Yes. Okay, well, so my question, since everybody here is on stage together, is for you, Daniel, what is your level of interaction with the voice actors who are singing, or I should say the singers, the musicians who are singing for the final cut of the songs? What is your interaction with them as you compose a piece? So, for example, you take a song like Celestia's song in the season finale. How did her being the singer for it shape how you composed that piece?
That's a good question. I mean, I always write the song in my key for me to sing it, just because that's how I write. So I'll sing it, and then I called Nicole up and I said, okay, hey, over the phone, I'm gonna play some notes and let me know where your bottom range is and your top range is, and then we just try to find the perfect key that's gonna showcase her voice. And that pretty much every song happens that way. So that's why some of the musicians in the audience might try to actually play the songs on the piano or the guitar, and you're like, why is this in, C sharp major or some like weird key? And
G flat major.
Yes.
Why?
It happens because
Did anybody in here try and play any of the music from the show? Use some of the yeah. Okay, a couple people. Once or twice. Who are you again?
no, do you when you do it? Okay, so Andy, when you do it, do you change the key for yourself, or do you try to do it in the original key? Because you do your own arrangements of the songs. And stuff.
I usually try and do it like in the. Thank you, my good friend. I usually try it at least once in the original key, but if I'm singing like one of Michelle's songs, or if I'm singing something else that's like one of Kazumi's songs, it's usually rather high. So many times I will bring down the key or just do it an octave lower. But I know you wanted me to do that. So usually it's just about like learning the progression first and then just transposing it. But sometimes I can sing it in the original key, but it doesn't always work. It's fun to try though.
As a trumpet player, G flat major, really?
But as a guitar player, you just put a capo.
Yeah.
and
Or just bar
a bar, and it's not quite as so complicated. But or on a digital piano, you just hit transpose +1, and you're now. Anyways, no, we don't. We never do that. I just want.
Make people think you work really hard. Because you do.
So I guess then, because we also have another stage of the song creation process with us, the orchestration, Mr. Steffan Andrews over here, who's incredibly talented. Yeah.
Unfortunately,
What are the raw materials, Steffan, that you are...
I gotta finish that statement. I can't just say unfortunately and out the blue. I was gonna say unfortunately Steffan doesn't get enough acknowledgement because they don't have an orchestration credit in the show. But of course Steffan is very intimately involved in all of the song production with me, and it's great that you guys can appreciate that.
Is there an aw? Thank you. That'll last me all year.
They were dawing
That's
at
all
how
they
cute
need
these
these
finals
guys.
That's in
were.
lieu of payment for his orchestration. That's thank you.
Yes, that's right. But it was different for the season finale, which was obviously a musical. And we did that from head to toe.
Yes,
Or,
that was our
or horn to hoof, however you look at it. Yeah.
Well, looking at any song that you've worked on the show, and if the season finale was different, by all means, let us know. Could you go over what it is like? What are the raw materials you're given for a song? For example, let's say Super Cider Speedy 6000, which I'm learning to say right. That song, when you're given it from Daniel, what are the raw materials that he gives you, and what do you do with those materials?
I just sing it into my iPhone and hand it to him. No, it's not quite that bad. Do you want to answer that question, Steph?
It's for you, Steffan.
Yep.
So you mean after the songwriting process?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Daniel, you can answer part of this just as well as I can. You write most of the songs on piano,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, they'll end up in piano because it's such a once it's in MIDI in piano form, then now we can adjust the key and tempo to kind of really. That always seems to change when the voice actors come in. So the first thing I'll do is I'll write the piano sketch, bring in a voice actor, record that.
Yeah.
So we have a really nice vocal performance. We have a very detailed, completed song, sheet music for the song.
Yeah.
And then at that stage, a discussion happens, whether it's with Steffan and I also, David Corman doesn't get mentioned a lot, but he does a lot of guitar production. He plays mandolin for me in the sessions.
That's right.
And so we have a discussion about what we think the direction of the song should be. And then at that point, you want to...
Yeah, and the style of the songs are obviously predetermined. You talk with Jason and the production crew, and what is the style? Because there's so many different styles on the show, right? You don't want to have one person thinking it's going to be this orchestral piece, and it turns out to be a hayseed number or something.
And that happened on Babseed, actually. Yeah.
But that was a pretty good song, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Do people like that song? Babseed?
Yeah, and so I'll take everything that's been written by Daniel, and I do a lot of the orchestral stuff, and so I'll take it and I'll lay it out onto the orchestral instruments digitally. It's unfortunate we don't, have quite the budget to hire a whole orchestra, but that would be pretty sweet.
That would be... One day, we
That'd
want
be
to see a
great.
concert, a My Little Pony live orchestral concert would be amazing.
I can play the
That has to
clarinet. So if you need me.
And we get the whole voice cast.
Well, that's it. We want to get the whole voice cast to sing it. It would be an amazing thing. I
Mando
think.
would be on mandolin.
Yep.
Sure, why
And 100 other instruments at the same time. Yeah. So, was that the question that you asked, Mike?
Yeah, that was the question I asked.
And then it
I have
goes.
a
There's another.
question.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question for Daniel. When can we hear some flugelhorns?
There was a
Just
there-
think about it.
Okay, I'll think about this. There was a secretly hidden buried flugelhorn in what's it called? The Crystal Pony Ballad, the Ballad of the Crystal Pony.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
it's in there.
awesome.
It was in there buried. Yeah.
Sweet.
And actually, I hate to admit this, but it was Will Anderson who added it. Because
That's
I wrote a song and we recorded the song. We record these songs like way at the very beginning. So before we even do the voice acting, a lot of times the songs are recorded. So it's like the script happens, the songs are written, and then the voice. The last thing we add is the voices after all the production is done, and then they go and they animate. And then a year later, the song is in the show and it's animated, and it's really actually kind of exciting because I have no idea what the animation is going to look like. And then suddenly something will happen. We realize, oh, there's a flugelhorn we need to add.
And I think Will Anderson can play a flugelhorn.
He
am I
actually,
right?
well, that's his instrument. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's his. No, but
So everybody does what they're good at, you know. That's what makes the show great. And it's kind of cool too, like you said, to be able to write and produce the song even before it's animated. The animator's got to go along with the pacing of, and make up what's happening in every piece of whether it's a montage or it's a sing along or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I know that like with the lyrics, like nowadays I'm taking on a more active role in writing lyrics, and yeah, a lot of it is like, oh, we're actually shaping what the animation's going to do by deciding what they're going to sing about, because they end up wanting to animate what the words are saying. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Tubs of jelly.
What?
Tubs of jelly.
Oh yes,
Tubs of
yes, tubs of
jelly.
jelly. I don't know how that got
Just
got
like
in there.
randomly in the song. Strangely obsessed with tubs of jelly. What is it?
Do we have some questions for our other panel members?
Well, I was gonna just say, in a second here, I'm gonna leave this. I think for this panel, because of all the great talent on stage, and also because of just how much interest there is in the music, I'm gonna open up to a little bit more Q&A in just a second. So if you guys want to start lining up, I'll ask one question, and then we'll start going through Q&A. There's a microphone right there. And I should also, let's see here.
I want to mention one thing. One of the reasons I actually invited Andy up, which you probably wonder, wait, why?
Why is this guy?
Yeah, what's he doing there? Yeah, Andy and I actually had a chance to work together in Vancouver this year, which was a really cool collaboration. Yeah, and I wanted to get him singing on Pony, but we couldn't do that.
This close.
It came very close. Yes.
Can you tell us which song it might have been if it was going to happen?
I think it was just like you just said, like background.
Yeah, it was. Because there's always other singers that come in, like a choir of singers, and I do these choirs usually with a small group of like 4 to 6 people, and so I wanted Andy in the choir at least, and then we ended up though on another show. We got on Littlest Pet Shop. I was recording a song, and we were doing this really cool sort of Beatles-y 60s thing, and I'm like, Andy, you gotta come in and sing this. I think it's not, now this isn't a conflict of interest. It's gonna be fine. So we got him in the studio, and we had a blast, and he does a whole solo. So you guys can look forward to hearing that later this year too.
It was a lot of fun. I love that song. I obviously will not sing it or mention the name or anything, but any day now. But it's so funny how you did mention that it just like takes forever from the songwriting process to the recording, and then whenever it actually comes out, because like we recorded almost a year ago now, and it's like, oh yeah, it's almost 2 months from now. Yay! Yeah, it takes a long time, but it was an honor and an extreme pleasure to work with you guys. So, thank you so much.
Well, and one question that I wanted to ask is there a difference between how you guys, because I know that the DHX music crew also works on other DHX productions such as Pound Puppies and on Littlest Pet Shop. Is there a difference in how you approach composing for My Little Pony than for those other shows, or is there a difference in the production process or the interaction between the composers and the VAs, or is that something that...
The interaction with the VAs is pretty similar. We just spend a lot of time with you guys. Like when we bring them in, like we've spent like hours recording Flim Flam song, I think. And I'm a drill sergeant. Like I really like to do it again and again and get as much nuances in, and because we only get one shot at it, we have to have lots of options. So sometimes the network will call and they're like, oh, do you have an alternate for this line? And so that's we work pretty hard on these. We work these guys really hard. So that's consistent. But the style of songs for every show definitely is different. And I think for My Little Pony, it's very unique, very special because unlike, in season 1, a lot of the songs were kind of typical of a cartoon. We were sort of going with spoofy, funny stuff. Like the CMC's Cutie Mark Crusader song in the 80s thing was really just supposed to be a joke. And Fluttershy's So Many Wonders and Hush Now Quiet Now with that Michelle did an amazing job on. Both of them did an amazing job on. Those were kind of like joke songs. And then we realized, wait, let's try to do something that doesn't get done often and write really songs that have a little bit more depth and emotional meaning and go a little further. So it's a really unique show, I think, in that sense that we get to do these like Flim Flam and these crazy songs that you just don't hear on other shows, I don't think. Sorry, I'm losing my voice.
And I love the story progression. I love the story progression in the actual songs themselves. It feels like some of the best musicals. Like, I love it whenever you can actually have the story progress instead of just stories going on. Then there's a song. We all break. Yeah. Suddenly we're not telling the story anymore to enjoy a little song, and then you go on. But I really like it whenever the story gets like the Find a Pet song. I thought did a really good job of actually extending the stories, and I like seeing that in cartoons.
Yeah, and you don't see that very often. Now, I think on Pet Shop, we especially find it's like songs are great and a lot of fun, but they don't always so integrated into the storyline like they are in My Little Pony, which is really, really unique.
All right, let's get to the first question.
Has there been a genre that you would not been able to incorporate into the show that you would like to?
This is always the hardest question because there's things I just don't want to spoil. Look, there it is. It's up there.
Oh, it's right there. Well,
Someone needs to take care of that moose.
I think we've done a little bit of electronic, like the only electronic music like 8-bit or anything in the show is when Pinkie Pie sings, and we kind of have a little bit of leverage there for some electronics. I'd like to see a way, I'd like to find a way to incorporate a little bit more of a modern sound, like with some electronics music and some. Dubstep might be a little pushing it, but
a little progressive, yeah. I don't know. I kind of the opposite. I want to have like a Rat Pack song, like a Sinatra thing.
Oh, yeah, that could happen.
Fun.
I'm trying to think who would sing that.
We get Michelle to do her vocals.
Yeah.
Daniel, Peter New and I make a very, very good operatic duet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
That would be Oh my God! Don't make me cry. You're making me cry. Oh God.
You got Peter.
You go for some.
I don't know. I think it would be a nice contribution. I think. What do you think? Yeah.
I think that would be. I think that would be an. I don't get to make these choices. These are writer decisions, but I certainly can say that. Yeah, I think it would be kind of fun to have Big Mac suddenly turn out to be an amazing opera singer after all that.
Big Mac and Al Bloom enter a talent show.
That's right.
Oh.
Okay, this one's for Daniel Ingram. What do you feel is the best song on My Little Pony Friendship is Magic that you've composed?
I can't answer that question. The best song, I think.
Favorite?
I really feel like just from a start to finish balanced song. I really like the Smile song. I do feel like it's got. Thank you.
Good choice. Thank you.
What's up, guys? I just got to say, first of all, I think you are all insanely talented, and thank you so much for being here. But this is basically just a general question. Since a lot of bronies have noticed the kind of correlation between certain songs like Super Sidey Squeezer, Super Cider. It's a hard phrase. Since people have liked the correlation between that song and the Music Man's Trouble, I was curious how much, both in interpreting and composing the music, how much you're influenced by classic songs like that.
That's a great question. Just about how much influence crosses in from the reference songs.
Yeah.
I was familiar with that song. I try not to let it seep in too much. So I knew the gist, and I knew I was familiar with the music, but then I just let that go and try to do something unique. I try to do something original with it. And yeah.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
Hi, for Ms. Oliver. I know for the voice actors who have been in the show and the singers who have been in the show since the beginning, there were auditions deciding who would sing, who would voice, etc. What was the process of you becoming the singer for Princess Celestia that you, of course, did an awesome job of?
Oh, thank you. Like Daniel said, it was a phone call saying, hey, do you think you could do this? I'm an actor who can sing. I am not a singer.
We noticed
It's a
that you
big
can.
difference, though. Those people like Michelle, who I call a beautiful singer, that's another skill on top of being a phenomenal actress. So, we talked on the phone, and it was a challenge. But I think the thing I love about the song is that it's so full of emotion. And so as an actor, like poetry, the lyrics, same thing. There's a story in the words, and so I thought if I could just believe in the words, then maybe hopefully I'd get the melody and it would come across.
Yeah, he said he was channeling the emotion of raising a child and having them leave the nest, and I think that you guys did really good making that happen.
Well, it was
so.
actually a really difficult session for me. My father-in-law died, so and my brother-in-law had just been diagnosed with cancer that day. And so I was, it was tough, but I'm really proud of how it ended up in the end. So
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.
This one is for Daniel. I was wondering, how did you get started with the composing and like getting into the music industry in general? How did you get started with that?
Well, I mean, I grew up playing music, but I wasn't classically trained as a kid necessarily. I was playing in bands and playing guitar as my first instrument, and I took some piano lessons as a young child, but didn't really stick with it. And then I went to university and started, I loved music, and I started studying composition officially, actually quite late. And then when I got into television, I didn't actually have any plan to do it because I didn't think I was capable of doing it. I thought, okay, I know what I can write, which was my own style of
Boy, are you
music.
wrong. Were you wrong there, pal?
And I thought, no, this is way too hard, all this, because you need to be very versatile when you're in television or film, anything. But I guess I had a really good mentor, and anyone wanting to get in the industry, I think that's a good way to start, is find someone who inspires you and can help you out. And I worked for him for several years. In fact, Steffan and I worked for the same mentor. That's how we met. And then it just sort of went from there. I actually only wrote my first song after I'd been composing background music for about 4 years, and that was the Martha Speaks theme song, which Andy did. Cool. And that was like, oh, you know what? I kind of like songwriting. And it actually occurred to me one day, I woke up and I literally said, I think I want to try a songwriting career and see what happens. And My Little Pony, and I got to sort of, break it in on one other show, and then My Little Pony really was the first chance to really try to stretch my wings that way.
Thank you.
These are great questions.
I removed my hat so Michelle would recognize me.
Sorry?
I removed my hat so you would recognize me.
Yes.
My question to you is, what would Apple Bloom sound like if she had the personalities of Clary and Maddie?
Okay, well, Claire's insane. And Maddie's really, really calm. So I don't know. That would really bounce when you have a really two really opposite neutrons or something scientific like that. It's like that. And I'm sort of the one in the middle. I can be crazy, once Tabitha brings in her cookies. I'm all the way on Claire's side, but Maddie's the oldest one. She kind of keeps us under wraps. So I don't know. I think she would sort of, because Maddie and Claire we're really great friends, and that's what makes us awesome as a group, and I love them so much because we're different, and and that's what's special. So I don't know. I think Apple Bloom would just sound the same, I guess.
We need to see you with Tabitha's cookies. You need to eat one, and we need to see you up.
Yeah, I would be jumping off the walls. I'm probably sure I can do a backflip. Backflip, just bing, bing, yeah, boing.
This question is for Andrea Libman. What is the best song that you think Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy have done? One song by Pinkie Pie and one song by Fluttershy.
Well, I love the Smile song too that Pinky sang, and Shannon just did a great job on that. It's such a beautiful song, so I think that's the best Pinkie Pie song. And for Fluttershy, I really love the Find a Pet song. I think that song, it's just so fun.
Yeah, they're both really awesome songs.
Oh
And
yeah, she's an evil enchantress. She does evil dances. That's not really a song.
I mean, it's my favorite song. So.
Yay, Pinky!
thank you, Andrea Libman. I love your work as Fluttershy.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, well, before we get to the next question, two of our guests up on stage need to get going to make other commitments. So everybody, a round of applause. They're going to be here, but if you could give a round of applause for Nicole Olver and Andrea Libman. They're still going to be here. You'll be able to find them across the hall a little bit later for autographs if you're still looking for autographs. I also have heard that we got a very large donation as a part of the drive to help this convention online. Somebody donated over $2,000.
Yeah.
So whoever you are, anonymous person. All right. Well, again, thank you, Nicole and Andrea.
Before you escape, Nicole, I just wanted to tell you what you said about bullying yesterday was literally brought me to tears. Thank you. All right, for the rest of you, I have kind of a terrible voice and I am all but completely tone deaf. Is there any hope for me?
Auto-tune.
You know, if you're passionate about something and that's what you want to do, then don't give up hope. That's if it's like just work really really hard and try to just do the best you can, and then that's what's important in life, to just try your best, and then you will feel satisfied with yourself. I promise. Just
I'm inspired. I'm so inspired now.
Practice, and sing what you love. Just beware of YouTube.
Yeah.
Get some screeners before you post yourself on YouTube. You will save yourself a lot of aggravation.
I want to answer a bit of that question too, because I'm a terrible singer. At least I used to be a particularly bad singer, but I have to sing a lot of the demos when I write the songs, so that Hasbro can hear them, and I can say that for my own journey, like over the last 3 or 4 years, I've definitely went from being like, because I have to tune my own vocals so I can see when they're like way out and they're terrible, and now they're getting almost perfect, and I'm like, wow, so you can improve. You just have to do it all the time. You have to listen to yourself. Yeah, you listen to yourself.
He's still a terrible singer, and you're never going to hear his demos.
Yep, I'm on that same
I'm
place.
crying now. I was inspired, now I'm sad.
Okay, let's have an awe for Daniel now.
Aww.
We're tied.
I wish I had Andy's singing talent. Oh, thanks. You have a great voice. One thing that's interesting about your voice is I noticed you have you have a huge range.
Yeah.
And yeah, you sing some songs in like way like your chest voice, and you get way down there. Oh, no. Yeah. But then you have this beautiful like countertenor kind of high thing that you can do.
I think you're the only other person that's known the term countertenor. Yeah, thank you very much.
And it's really, that was actually one of the first covers I heard you sing. I'm trying to think which one it was now. It was really high, yeah. And I was, yeah, listen to that.
Now I don't even remember the society. I'm the belle of the ball, the star of the show, and the kind of pony every pony should know. Yeah. Thank you. From
That
some
was
years of trying to
beautiful.
sing harmony that's out of my range.
It was so beautiful. Oh my
Thank
goodness.
you.
I
I'm
just
crying.
I'm happy again. I'm inspired again.
Thank you, and I'll see you musicians later.
So beautiful, made me cry.
Hi there. My question is a two-parter, and it's for the instrumental musicians. How many instruments do you play, and which one's your favorite?
Go for it, Steph. Why don't you start that one?
Okay. I play one instrument, and I write for hundreds. Is that right? Did I get that right?
I think so, yeah.
I play piano,
I've seen you.
sorry.
You've
Keyboards.
you have a guitar in your studio. You have a bass in your studio. You have an accordion in your studio.
Yeah, I've got lots, but it's kind of like I close the door and pull the blinds when I play them. If I ever have to record anything.
No, he got soundproof blinds installed in the studio. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my main instrument is the brain, but I play. I play guitar as my first instrument, and then I learned several string instruments after that, and then I learned piano as well. I think the more every instrument will affect how you write music. So if I wanted to write a pop song, I wouldn't necessarily write it on the piano because I know what I come up with on the guitar, and you probably have the same experience. Like the medium affects the results so much, right? Absolutely. So like if I tried to write a Broadway musical theater song on a guitar or something, it would be a very different song than if I wrote it on piano. Yeah. And sometimes that's a good thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna get. Yeah,
that's right.
So I think how about yourself? What do you play?
I play harmonica, trumpet, and I sing.
Awesome. You play trumpet?
Nice.
Yes.
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 It's not as cool as flugelhorn, but
No.
No, I'm
I
just
don't
kidding. That's
know.
awesome.
Trumpet, really, really good trumpet players, I admire so much because there's only so much you can do with a trumpet, but when you're really, really good at it, you just make it sound so super cool.
It's actually one of the most physically demanding instruments to play, right?
I do know that.
Yeah, my best friend plays the trumpet. He's a professional jazz trumpet player, and he suffers all this. He's always like, I can't play. I'm injured. And I'm like, you don't look injured.
It's worse when you have braces.
No, it's called blowing your lip, and it's bad. Yeah. I survived. When I was in middle school, I had braces, and I played trumpet, and I learned to play it with the braces on, and then I kept the braces off. And it's a difficult instrument, so you have all my respect, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Mando, I think I already know yours, but could you tell us why?
Sure. I play about 9 or so instruments, mostly string, because if you can play one, you can play most of them. My favorite to play is probably the mandolin. Obviously, that's where the Mandopony. That is where that comes from. True.
Oh, I thought it was pronounced
It's
Mandopony.
It's Mandopony now. This guy. Probably my favorite to play because the first musician that I really became obsessed with whenever I was about 10 or 11 years old was Chris Thiele, a mandolinist for an old band Nickel Creek. Yeah, and I wanted to be able to hear the record, any time that I wanted. So I didn't realize at the time, that he had been doing it for 15 years and was a prodigy at the age of 7. But I tried to emulate him, and so probably the mandolin. But my favorite to listen to would probably be piano. I think that's just my favorite all-time instrument because it's just pure musicality and pure tone, and I think it's awesome. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, my question was just, when the fandom kind of exploded, did you all of a sudden have this moment where, oh my gosh, now every time I do a resume, everyone's going to be, oh, you're the pony guy, and that was going to be the rest of your life?
We hope it's going to be the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
We want to be working on season 43, before we kick the bucket.
Hoof stomp.
Fair enough, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Are we ever going to see an official MLP soundtrack that we can purchase? So we can stop relying on show rips?
I thought
I've never even thought of that before. That's a great. No, this is one of those questions that people ask all the time. I ask Hasbro all the time. They ask themselves all the time. It's complicated because the actors are there to put their performances on a TV show, not on a CD. And so in order for them to have it on a soundtrack, I think there's some complicated purchasing and contracts that have to happen. And there's so many actors, so many people sing on these songs that I don't know. I mean, it's been 3 years now, 3 seasons, and it hasn't happened. So I hope it happens. I know everyone would love to see it happen, but I don't even know if technically it's possible. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
This one is for Michelle and Mondo, please. How did the two of you come together to collab on your work? Especially you, Mondo, going from from a fandom musician to someone actually singing alongside Michelle.
First of all, we should definitely nickname you Mondo now.
Yeah,
You're
Mondo.
Mondo now.
Mondo. I kind of like that.
Pony.
Mondo Pony.
We'll wait till he gains some weight.
Yeah, Mondo Pony. Well, it kind of all started because of this guy, and Monique Creber, her mother, happened to come across. Was it Long Way from Equestria? Was the first one?
Yeah,
she heard?
well, what I did is back in November of 2011, we did an interview. Maybe it was even earlier. It might have been October. We did an interview on EFN or EFR at the time of Michelle Creber, and as part of that, she asked, "Well,
that long ago."
It was that long ago.
So long.
And Monique said, well, Michelle's really interested in what kind of fan music there is out there. She hasn't heard any of it, and she's really into music. So I sent a whole bunch of links of different songs to her, including, I think, Long Way to Equestria, something from Simgratina, something from I think I
Tombstone, I'm sure.
Yeah,
too, right?
I sent Tombstone's Discord remix, of course. And after that, she said, well, we would be interested in maybe collaborating, working with one of these guys. I'm like, well, Mando's probably the most talented one I know.
Thank you.
And so I put them in contact with each other to start working together. And I think that was a good idea.
I'm really happy with it. But basically, yeah, like if it wasn't for Everfree Radio and Everfree Network, it probably wouldn't have happened at all. And I'm really, really thankful for all of the opportunities and to have then moved on to working on albums and collaborations and mini webisodes and stuff like that. It's awesome.
Well, and I always love the episodes of Speedy and Stretch where she's like hitting you with a hockey puck or something.
What?
Well,
That's
I'll tell you this.
consistently all I hear is like, oh, remember whenever you got hit by the baseball bat? I really like that part. Gee, thanks. Friend. Well, yeah.
Draft. We did make him sign his soul away in blood for those
Well,
connections,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
No,
no, it's gone,
yeah.
long gone.
Technicalities.
All right, well, thank you guys, and thank you, Daniel Ingram, for all the great songs you had. I can't wait to hear some more in season 4.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Michelle, will you do us all the great honor of leading us on a full rendition of 99 Buckets of Oats on the Wall? Come on.
That was actually Claire.
Well, that's the problem. I don't want to steal Claire's thunder because I don't know if I can be that amazingly crazy.
So that wasn't actually a singing role. That was a.
Well,
vocal
it's
role?
not a song. It was just it was in the script, and it was. Yeah. Okay.
So they felt Claire could do it since it was just her screaming incoherently.
Okay. Well, sing more in season 4.
Okay.
Use your limited power to make the writers give you more. I don't know. Thank you.
That's a question that gets asked like every single con, and I was I don't know. That's a very popular question. If I have
that song?
Yeah. Like, or have I done it, or did Claire do it? But I don't know. That was definitely Claire. So put it on the record. That is Claire. Yeah, that was
It was
just
actually
amazing.
Mandopony here.
She was like
They credited
it was
Claire,
hilarious. We had to literally like her characters fall asleep after she does that, but literally we actually did fall asleep there because we did it like so many times because we didn't know how many we were gonna use. So we did like 99 to about 81, then like 64, 48, and then it's like 28 to 0. So by the time we were done, we're just like, how do you do it? How do you do it, Claire? It's just like, I don't know how she gets the energy. I don't know.
Lots of sugar, I think.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of sugar at the voice records. I've seen it. I sneak in there and I'm like, wow, this is where all the good. Our studio is just down the street. Not down the street, down the hall from where they record. And we sneak in there when we find out they're in there so we can take cookies. And
That's what makes Sweetie Belle so awesome. Awesome. That's what makes Sweetie Belle so awesome. So awesome, man. Yeah. Totally tubular. Mandopony? No, that was Natalie and I. Natalie
you
came up
stole
with
it from me.
No.
You stole
Did
it
Natalie
from
steal that from you?
Yeah,
That's terrible.
I know.
Natalie Sharp, Stretch on Speedy and Stretch. Check it out.
All right. Well, I think that this wraps up this panel. I want to thank everybody who's up on stage with me. Michelle Creber, of course. Sam Vincent. Steffan Andrews.
we didn't really even talk about characterizing songs, did we really?
Well. And Daniel Ingram, and then, of course, Mandopony, Mondopony. whatever you want to call them.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys. And stay tuned for an announcement of the next panel. Ingram.
Hey, everyone. How you doing?
Steffan Andrews, also known as Architect.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
And, of course, Sam Vincent. And,
Hello.
oh, here we go.
Hi,
Nicole Olver's
hi,
coming
hi.
up.
Oh, wait. Hi. Oh, wait. Hi. Are you just observing? Or are you actually? Oh, and here she comes. Dum. Oh, wait.
And,
There's
what's
more.
this?
But
Michelle
wait.
Creber as
Not
well.
only do you get Nicole Olver on a panel, you also get Michelle Creber as well.
There we go.
And could it possibly be you also get, for a limited time only, Andrea Libman?
All right, let's
right.
give him a second to get on stage and get situated.
Hi.
Okay, so as you guys know, this has been a little bit of a chaotic day. So two panels are becoming one. They're merging. They're hybridizing in a beautiful way, I think. So this is the characterizing songs panel. And I think it's going to be kind of cool because we've got, of course, some great musicians, but also Sam Vincent at the end here, who did some singing on the show as well. So let me introduce everybody.
You get it? You get it? People who sang songs and people who wrote the songs and music together, doing one panel.
That's right.
Yeah.
The panel to beat all panels.
So let me introduce who's on stage here with me. Mr. Mandopony.
Hi, everyone.
Daniel Ingram. And Andrea Libman sings for Fluttershy.
And occasionally Pinkie Pie as well, actually. We shouldn't forget that. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yes. Yes. Okay, well, so my question, since everybody here is on stage together, is for you, Daniel, what is your level of interaction with the voice actors who are singing, or I should say the singers, the musicians who are singing for the final cut of the songs? What is your interaction with them as you compose a piece? So, for example, you take a song like Celestia's song in the season finale. How did her being the singer for it shape how you composed that piece?
That's a good question.
All right. Now we're talking, huh? Did I say it was not going to be the best panel of all time? It's shaping up to be that way, isn't it?
All right. Well, on stage here we have both the writers and orchestrators of this songs from the show, but also some of the people who sing on them. Nicole, of course, in the season finale, sung beautifully as Celestia. Sam Vincent, so I'm trying to think of a good adjective. I think music manical-ish is not a word, but something.
Music
what is that with panache? With great panache, sung in Super Size Squeezy 6000.
Great panache.
Great panache.
With Daniel behind the glass going, do better, go, go.
Michelle Creber is the singing voice of both Apple Bloom and Sweetie Belle in all of the songs.
Question. I mean, I always write the song in my key for me to sing it, just because that's how I write. So I'll sing it, and then I called Nicole up and I said, okay, hey, over the phone, I'm gonna play some notes and let me know where your bottom range is and your top range is, and then we just try to find the perfect key that's gonna showcase her voice. And that pretty much every song happens that way. So that's why some of the musicians in the audience might try to actually play the songs on the piano or the guitar, and you're like, why is this in, C sharp major or some like weird key? And
G flat major.
Yes.
Why?
It happens because.
Did anybody in here try and play any of the music from the show? Use some of the yeah. Okay, a couple people. Once or twice. Who are you again?
No, when you do it? Okay, so Andy, when you do it, do you change the key for yourself, or do you try to do it in the original key? Because you do your own arrangements of the songs. And
Yeah, I